Yo, welcome back to the channel everyone, and in this video we're going to be going over the new top 10 class setups to use here in Warzone Season 5, especially if you guys are playing on Rebirth Island. I'm going to be showcasing 5 meta class setups as well as 5 class setups that are technically off meta that you guys can use to get more kills as well as hopefully secure your first Warzone win. Now, with all that being said, the like goal on this video has to be 750 likes. If we can get 750 likes in under 24 hours, that'd be absolutely incredible. Now, let me know down in the comment section right now how many wins you have on Warzone, whether it be on regular Verdansk or in Rebirth Island, and also what is your favorite gun to use since Season 5 is live. Now, for my first meta class setup, it's going to consist of the Krig 6 as well as the Cold War MP5. So, for the Krig 6, I'm running it with the Agency Suppressor, the 19.7-inch Ranger Barrel, the Field Agent Grip, the Stanag 60-round mag, as well as the Axel Arms 3X sight. This is going to be a fantastic assault rifle to take enemies out at medium to longer ranges, and you're going to be finding yourself absolutely beaming players from building to building, from top prison to the courtyard, pretty much anywhere people might be going ahead and buying a loadout or trying to rotate toward a building to camp. The Krig 6 is going to be able to take them out and rip off their armor very quickly and most importantly, very easily. This kind of reminds me of the Kilo 1-for-1 during Verdansk times, but here in Rebirth, I definitely prefer running the Krig 6 over that Modern Warfare rifle. So I recommend you guys going ahead and building this loadout immediately. Now for my secondary weapon, we're going to be running the Cold War MP5, and this class setup is going to have on the sound suppressor. We're not going to run the AG suppressor on this because the sound suppressor is going to be a better attachment to use if you guys actually are going to be treating the Cold War MP5 as a close quarters monster. So definitely go ahead and put this on for sound suppression, aim down sight speed, bullet velocity, as well as sprint to fire speed. Very important over the Agency Suppressor. Now for the next attachment, we're going to go over to the Field Agent Grip, the Tiger Team Spotlight, which is going to give us movement speed and aim walking movement speed, again making this a close quarters monster, the Stanag 50-round drum, and then the Raider stock, so we have increased ADS firing move speed, aim walking movement speed, and again sprint to fire time. A fantastic SMG to go ahead and rip people up bottom prison or clearing out a building on Rebirth Island. I absolutely love this, and it works flawlessly paired with a Krig 6 long-range loadout. Now from this setup, I have on Quick Fix, Overkill, as well as Combat Scout. Now I like to go ahead and put on the Combat Scout because it's a new perk. It's actually going to go ahead and highlight enemies you damage. So if somebody, you know, gets around the corner, you can actually see them through the walls. It's kind of like having a wall hack on Rebirth Island, which is ridiculous, especially in the tent area. With the Krig 6 MP5 setup, you're going to be able to mow people down. And obviously for the lethal, I have my throwing knife so I can dispatch people who are downed a lot quicker, as well as the heartbeat sensor so I can see people who are potentially hiding and camping in buildings or in tents. Now for my second meta loadout, we are still going to be running the Krig 6, the same exact class setup with the same attachments because it works flawlessly on Rebirth Island, but I went ahead and changed up my secondary. We're going to be running the Bullfrog over the Cold War MP5. This is going to be kind of dependent on the type of mood I'm in and if I'm actually trying to get an incredibly high kill game. The Bullfrog is going to be a better SMG in my opinion, especially if you guys are extreme running gun aggressive style players on Rebirth Island. You're going to have a huge magazine and this class setup is just going to work. So for the Bullfrog, again, I have on the sound suppressor, again, going to be a better attachment to run over the Groove Suppressor for running gun aggressive style players. The 7.4-inch Task Force barrel, so we can increase effective damage range, bullet velocity, as well as strafe speed. I'm also running the Bruiser Grip, so I have movement speed and hip fire accuracy, the Spetsnaz 85-round mag, and then again the KGB skeletal stock. So I have increased aim walking movement speed. I have go ahead and have increased aim firing move speed, and then sprint to fire time Overall, a fantastic bullfrog class setup if you guys are trying to be aggressive and just mow enemies down on Rebirth Island. Now, from this setup, I have on Quick Fix, Overkill, as well as Combat Scout, and still the Throwing Knife and the Heartbeat Sensor. These two class setups are kind of my go-tos, especially if I'm trying to get wins and get a lot of kills. Now, for my third meta loadout, we're going to be taking a look at the new assault rifle, the EM2. Now, for this class setup, we're going to be running it with the Agency Suppressor, the 27.4-inch Ranger Barrel, the Field Agent Grip, the Stanag 50-round mag, as well as the Axle 3x sight. This is going to be a very good assault rifle if you guys are trying to dominate mid-range combat, and it's going to work flawlessly on Rebirth Island. If you guys are more of an aggressive style AR player and want to have a mobile AR in a way, the EM2 is going to be perfect for you. Now, I still prefer the Crick 6 because it's going to be just incredibly easy to use at all ranges, but if you guys are trying to mix up the current meta and want to run around something new, the EM2 is going to be a great option, and honestly, you cannot go wrong with this weapon on Rebirth Island. And for my secondary, I am running the Cold War MP5 with the same loadout, the Sound Suppressor, the Field Agent Grip, the Tiger Team Spotlight, the Stanag 50-round drum, as well as the Raider stock. This is going to be a very aggressive class setup, encompassing an SMG that dominates at close range as well as an AR that dominates at mid-range. So go ahead, use this, play aggressive, and see how many kills you can get. Now, for the perks, I have on Quick Fix, Overkill, and Combat Scout, and I'm on the Throwing Knife as well as the Heartbeat Sensor. Now, for my meta loadout number 4, we're going to be going ahead and, again, using the EM2 with the same exact loadout, HD Suppressor, the Ranger Barrel, the Field Agent Grip, Stanag 50-round mag, Axle Arms 3X, but I went ahead and changed up my secondary because this is going to be, again, another class that you guys can interchange your secondaries with depending on the mood you're in or how many kills you're trying to drop. Now, again, the Bullfrog is going to be for extreme aggressive players, allowing us to mow multiple teams down because with this class setup, we're running it with the Sound Suppressor, the 7.4-inch Task Force Barrel, the Bruiser Grip, the Spetsnaz 85-round mag, as well as the KGB skeletal stock. And again, we're running the same perks, lethal and tactical. And for my fifth and final meta loadout, we're going to be taking a look at the C58 as well as the new Tech 9 SMG. Now, for the C58, we are running it with the Agency Suppressor, the 18.7-inch Ranger Barrel, the Field Agent Grip, the Stanag 55-round mags, as well as the Axle Arms 3X sight. The C58 is going to be kind of a Crick 6 or a Kilo 141 replacement. Now, these are going to be 3 ARs that I feel are going to be the ease of use rifles here on Rebirth Island. They're good at all ranges, and you really cannot go wrong, especially if you guys are running the right secondary. Now, speaking of secondaries, we're going to take a look at the Tech 9, and we are going to be running it with the full auto repeater attachment, transforming this from a semi-automatic SMG to full auto, the 4.9-inch Task Force Barrel, the Field Agent Grip, the Stanag 48-round mags, as well as the Raider stock. Overall, a great SMG to use in conjunction with the C58. I think you guys will definitely enjoy this on Rebirth Island. Now, for the other setup, I have on a Quick Fix, Overkill, Combat Scout with the Throwing Knife as well as the Heartbeat Sensor. Now, we're going to be transitioning over to some off-meta class setups that are still relevant on Rebirth Island and still remain dominant in Warzone. So for our first class setup, we're going to be using the Kilo 141 with the Cold War MP5. Now with the Kilo, we're going to be running it with the Monolith Suppressor, the Syngard Arms 19.8-inch Prowler Barrel, the Commando Foregrip, the 60-round mags, as well as the VOK 3x optic. Like I said previously, the Kilo 141, the Crick 6, and the C58 are kind of interchangeable depending on what type of long-range rifle you guys are trying to use on Rebirth. I honestly still love the Kilo 141. I still use it to this day, and honestly, I'm going to continue using it because of all the great memories I've had with this AR, both in multiplayer as well as in Warzone. Now, for the remainder of the class setup, I have on, again, the Cold War MP5 with the same class setup, Sound Suppressor, Field Agent Grip, the Tiger Team Spotlight, Stanag 50 round drum, as well as the Raider stock. And from the other setup, I have on Quick Fix Overkill Combat Scout with the throwing knife, as well as the heartbeat sensor. Now, for my next off meta class setup, we're gonna be taking a look at the Growl. Now, the Growl is still king on Rebirth. This is honestly a great weapon to use if you guys, again, are trying to look for something that is effective at longer ranges, but also good at close ranges, because we're not going to run an optic on this rifle. The iron sights are very easy to use, and honestly, the Growl just works on Rebirth. So for the Growl, we're going to be running it with the Monolithic Suppressor, the Tempest 26.4-inch Archangel barrel, the Commando foregrip, the TAC laser, so we have increased aim down sight speed, aiming stability, as well as aim walking steadiness, as well as the 60 round magazine. I still love the Growl. I know you guys still love the Growl. Let's go ahead and run it back here in Season 5 with an OG Modern Warfare loadout. And for the remainder of the setup, I have on the Bullfrog, because I want to have a secondary that is dominant at close range. And it's going to be the same class setup. Sound Suppressor, the 7.4-inch Task Force barrel, the Bruiser grip, the Spetsnaz 85 round mag, as well as the KGB skeletal stock, and everything else is going to be the same. Quick Fix Overkill Combat Scout, throwing knife, as well as the heartbeat sensor. Now for our next class setup, we're going to be taking a look at the AMAX, as well as the Bullfrog. Now the CR56 AMAX is going to be a great rifle if you guys are aggressive. Kind of like how the EM2 is, the AMAX is going to be a high risk, high reward rifle that you guys can use if you guys are aggressive. Honestly, you don't even really have to have a secondary if you don't want to with this weapon, because it's good at all ranges. But again, you're going to have to be able to control that awkward vertical recoil. So for the AMAX, let's go ahead and run it with the Monolithic Suppressor, the XRK Zodiac S440 barrel, the Commando foregrip, the 45 round mags, as well as the VOK 3x optic. Overall, a great class up to run on the AMAX, and you cannot go wrong. And this is still a relevant rifle on Rebirth Island in Season 5. Now for the main setup, I have on the Bullfrog for extreme close range if you guys want to use it. And we're going to be running it with the same class setup: Sound Suppressor, Task Force barrel, Bruiser grip, 85 round mag, the KGB skeletal stock. And for the remainder of the class setup, we have on the Quick Fix Overkill Combat Scout with the throwing knife, as well as the heartbeat sensor. A great class setup that is going to just kick ass on Rebirth Island. Now for our fourth off meta class setup, we're going to be taking a look at the FARA 83 as well as the Bullfrog. Now the FARA 83 is going to be a great low recoil rifle, and we're running it with the GRU Suppressor, the 19.5-inch Liberator barrel, the Spetsnaz grip, the Spetsnaz 60 round mag, as well as the Axle 3x optic. Overall, a great class setup. The FARA 83, in my opinion, is quite underrated, and it is very reliable at medium to longer ranges. But the only bad thing about this rifle is I feel that the reload speed is a little bit longer than a lot of the other rifles in Warzone, but it's just going to be something to use, and it's just different, and it works. So why not go ahead and give it a try? Now again, for the setup, I'm running it with the Bullfrog, again with the same exact loadout: Sound Suppressor, Task Force barrel, Bruiser grip, Spetsnaz 85 round mag, as well as the KGB skeletal stock with the same exact perks: lethal and tactical, Quick Fix Overkill Combat Scout, the throwing knife, and the heartbeat sensor. So for our fifth and final off meta class setup, we're gonna be taking a look at the M4A1 as well as the Cold War MP5. The Modern Warfare M4A1 is still dominant and still relevant here in Warzone, and honestly, I like it even more on Rebirth Island. Let's go ahead and break down this class setup. I'm running it with the Monolithic Suppressor, the stock M16 Grenadier barrel, the Commando foregrip, the 60 round mags, as well as the TAC laser, which is going to give me aim down sight speed, aiming stability, as well as aim walking steadiness. I love running the Iron Sight M4A1 on Rebirth Island because it works. It's good at close range, medium range, as well as long ranges. And with the Cold War MP5, running it with the same loadout: Sound Suppressor, Field Agent grip, Tiger Team Spotlight, Stanak 50 round drum, as well as the Raider stock, you cannot go wrong. This is going to be a great class setup if you guys are trying to take a trip down memory lane and use a Verdansk loadout that is surprisingly good on Rebirth Island. And for the perks, we have on Quick Fix, Overkill Combat Scout with the throwing knife, as well as the heartbeat sensor. These are going to be the top 10 best class setups to use on Rebirth Island in Season 5 of Warzone. Now, if there are 3 class setups I want you guys to check out, it's going to be my first Krig 6 class setup with the Cold War MP5, and I'm also going to recommend you guys running the new EM2 with the Cold War MP5 class, and then finally, I want you guys to run it back down memory lane with the Grau, because the Grau is one of those rifles where you cannot go wrong. It has 0 recoil, and it works no matter where you guys are on the map in conjunction with the Bullfrog. But if you guys don't like the Grau, give the old boy M4A1 a try. Hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. You guys should be able to get your first win, and if you guys do, let me know down in the comment section of this video. And if you guys are unaware, about 70% of you guys who are watching the content each and every day are not yet subscribed, so click the notification bell and become part of the Year's family. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.